is CTV News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. New tonight, an active police investigation on Huron Church Road. Around 7 o'clock tonight, police put out a notice on social media about this incident. As you can see, officers have taped off a portion of the parking lot at the Kenora Motel on Huron Church Road. Officials saying very little tonight other than confirming this is an active investigation. By 8:15, however, police reported the scene had been cleared. CTV News will publish any updates to our website, CTV News Windsor. The biggest news of the day, however, originating overseas all the way to China, where Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has inked a deal to let EVs into this country in exchange for lifting on tariffs on products like canola. Breaking down the story from a broad perspective tonight is CTV's Rachel Aiello.
It's just a terrible, terrible, miscalculated decision by the Prime Minister.
Ontario's Premier slamming the federal government for not consulting the auto industry before agreeing to allow more Chinese EVs into Canada.
We're letting China into a market that's going to have lower tariffs than our largest market, the U.S. They're going to undermine every auto manufacturer here.
The pact Carney and President Xi made, potentially pitting parts of the country against each other. But the Premier of Canada's largest canola-producing province doesn't see it that way.
The canola industry, the oilseed industry, the pulse industry is important to virtually each and every part of this country, up to and including Ontario.
Some sectors are elated about markets opening up again, while others are still waiting for relief.
While there was a deal announced for lobster and crab, there's many other species that weren't included that are subject to retaliatory tariffs. I'm thinking, cold water shrimp, sea cucumber, whelk.
We need to see the pork tariffs taken off as well.
While doing more business with economies like China may be divisive, experts today said it's key to Canada diversifying trade.
If you're going to do that on planet Earth, you're going to have to trade with China.
The new partnership also includes increasing cultural and tourism ties. Carney said Xi has agreed to allow visa-free access for Canadians traveling to China. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Here at home, the reaction is as you would expect. CTV's Chris Campbell picks up the story first with analysts and a union leader, followed by local auto worker reaction.
The agreement with China will allow up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles a year into Canada at a reduced tariff. For Windsor, a city built on auto manufacturing, the deal is drawing mixed reaction.
This is a baby step. This is the door opened a crack. It's not a floodgate. That is the takeaway from this. It's also a deal that contains a lot of words like expects, promises, pledges, those kind of things. So nothing is really set in stone yet.
Greg Layson says the numbers help put the deal into perspective. 49,000 vehicles is a small slice of all vehicle sales in Canada.
If you were to allow 49,000 EVs into Canada last year, that would have accounted for 2.5% of all the vehicles sold in Canada. It would have accounted for a large percent of battery electric vehicles sold in Canada. It is an increase in the number of purely EVs, but it's not a huge number in the grand scheme of things in total automotive sales.
Layson says Windsor's current manufacturing footprint isn't directly threatened, at least for now.
We build an EV here, but it's a muscle car, a Dodge brand owned by Stellantis. That's a very niche market, very high profit margin market. And so these don't threaten what is built in Windsor. It doesn't threaten the battery industry in Windsor that's starting to grow.
From a consumer standpoint, Layson says the deal could make EVs more affordable, but warns there are trade-offs.
I mean, this is a win for the consumer more than anyone else, because these EVs are priced at $35,000. It's a loss for cybersecurity in some fronts because there are questions about Chinese technology.
Union leaders, meanwhile, say the risks to Canadian auto workers outweigh the benefits.
When you look at the whole picture, people need to understand what this really means. You're adding tremendous stress to an already overstressed Canadian auto manufacturing segment and industry. here in Canada.
Stewart points out the quota is set to grow each year, while agriculture concessions from China are temporary. He says opening the market to lower-cost imports could discourage future investment in Canadian plants.
When you're opening the market to a cheaper vehicle, what it's going to do the exact opposite. It's going to drive investment away, not bring investment in.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
We don't know how cheap they're going to be, but I'm going to say it is opening the door for potential problems in the future, and we'll see what happens. That's all I can say.
I don't have an issue with it. We don't make a small car here in Canada, and we don't make a small car EV here in Canada, so I'm not sure how that has any bearing on this plant, but I guess we'll have to wait and see in the future. I don't have a problem with it, though, or Mr. Carney.
And the Windsor-Essex Chamber of Commerce adding their voice to this story tonight, saying, we support diversifying export markets as a long-term resilience strategy, but diversification must grow our region's GDP, not simply redirect volumes from one partner to another. Put another way, the Chamber, while supportive of Canada finding a new trading partner, doesn't want Canada to overlook trade relations with the Americans, if for no other reason than to support the 1,800 local supply chain companies that ship products across the Windsor-Detroit border each and every day. And speaking of the border, but switching gears here, the Windsor-Detroit tunnel is seeing a boost in traffic. Reporting on a reason, here's our Bob Belichico.
We've seen a noticeable increase in morning commuters.
A round trip across the bridge now costs passenger vehicles $28 or $14 each way.
There's about 11,000 people who live in Windsor-Essex who commute to Detroit every day. Lots of healthcare workers, lots of big three. Those folks are taking the tunnel even more than they did before.
Chudner says what used to take 10 to 12 minutes now takes up to 20 minutes to get through the tunnel and U.S. Customs. The biggest delay is taking place between 6:15 and 7:30 in the morning. He suggests increased security levels may lead to extra questioning on the American side.
Come a little earlier or come a little later, or just download a really nice podcast and prepare to spend an extra few minutes in our lovely tunnel.
Applying for a Nexus card is another suggestion Chudner offers to motorists.
Generally, our friends at U.S. Customs have 4 Nexus lanes open and 3 regular lanes open for the morning commute. But oftentimes, the Nexus lanes are not terribly busy.
He also points out the benefits of having a NextPress pay card, which drops the toll fee from $8.25 to $5.90 at both sides of the border. Now, CTV reached out to the Ambassador Bridge about possible traffic volume changes following the toll increase, but has not received a response by news time. Over here at the Gordie Howe International Bridge, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority has not announced an opening date, but I'm told that it will open in early 2026, and the toll rates will be announced before it's opened.
We're ready to go anytime. Just open the gates and let's go.
Steve Cosma, Business Development Manager at Morris Transportation, says the company has eaten the increase at the Ambassador Bridge, which for trucks is $15 to $20 per axle.
When we're pricing ad hoc business, we're able to kind of put that in place, but stuff that we already have priced out, we're taking that to the bottom line.
He hopes relief is on the way when the new bridge opens. Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Another reminder tonight from Windsor Police to slow down when Mother Nature drops snow on our doorstep. During the snowstorm this week, Windsor Police reported 80 weather-related crashes. One collision, a hit and run, that injured a pedestrian on Edinburgh near Howard. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police are urging drivers to slow down in these wintry conditions. Meanwhile, sliders, you're asked to avoid Malden Park Hill. The city says the lights at the top have been damaged. It's believed vandalism is to blame. Repairs are now underway, though there's no timeline yet for when it will be fixed. Until then, residents are being asked to avoid using the hill after dark for safety reasons. Daytime sledding, however, still good to go. And with more snow on the way, a request from Enbridge. They ask residents to make sure snow and ice is cleared away from gas meters and appliance vents. The company says failing to do so can increase the risk of a carbon monoxide leak. It can also lead to reduced reliability of heating systems and delayed access for first responders in case of an emergency. Well, as mentioned, there is more snow on the way for Windsor-Essex. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald will join me with your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And then later, if you have Canada Grade A eggs in your fridge, chances are they came from here, the country's largest processor, right in Ontario. Stay with us. Plenty still to come on CTV News at 11. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now with our full look at the weekend weather forecast, and I think it's probably best described as cold and snowy. Is that fair, Gary?
That's quite fair. Good evening, Michelle. Good evening, folks. Cold, snowy, windy, very January-like, and will be even colder next week with temperatures several degrees below seasonal. Today was actually a seasonal day in terms of temperatures. It was an active weather day as well. Snow moving into Windsor, Essex, Amherstburg, say around 1 o'clock, it really started to pick up. The winds out of the northwest, all wrapped around this massive spin of low pressure. How do we know it's low pressure in our hemisphere? Counterclockwise circulation. And it's yielding snow right now and through the overnight. The worst of it is past us and has moved well beyond the GTA. At least for now, we're in the low, but there's still a chance of some residual effects. On the reverse side of this, a patchy, snowy, windy, and cold next 24 to 36 hours. If you're traveling on area roads and highways, the 401 in particular, the 402, for example, anticipate still flurries and near whiteout conditions. You'll go from flurries in our neck of the woods to an additional 2 to 10 centimeters in some areas between London, Kitchener, Waterloo, and the GTA. The overnight temperature is a bearable -2, but it will feel closer to about -10 to -11 in areas along the north shores of Lake Erie for Windsor, Essex. Wind chill value about -9. Chatham, Canada, wind chill value about -10. Take a look at the breakdown for tomorrow. Saturday, we'll see some sunshine. A lot of people have been asking me about it. Well, it's always going to be a case of whether or not we see the sun. It's there, always. The clouds, though, will start to roll away, and we'll see it through the afternoon. A high of about 0 degrees. We'll take that, too. Again, that would be a degree above seasonal, but it's going to be below seasonal, and then some. As you take a look at the next 7 days, beyond Saturday, we're looking at -6, down to -9, and then -10. That's the progression in terms of temperatures falling off Sunday, Monday through Tuesday. And note, snow and or flurry activity the next 7 days in a row. Probability stat as high as 60 to 80% in some cases over the next 3 days, and then falling off somewhat as we approach the end of next week. I think those overnight lows early in the morning, pre-dawn, will be in the mid-teens at the very least, with wind chill values close to -20 this coming week. So be prepared.
Thanks, Gary. A political blow today from the Federal Court of Appeal, whose judges have ruled using the Emergencies Act in 2022 was not justified. You'll recall in February 2022, transport truck drivers upset with the COVID restrictions at the time blocked a large portion of downtown Ottawa around Parliament Hill in protest. It would be in place for 3 weeks until the Justin Trudeau Liberals invoked the Emergencies Act, banning public assemblies and freezing the bank accounts of protesters. Today's decision upholds one from a federal court 2 years ago. It ruled the government's decision to take the unusual measure did not meet the hallmarks of reasonableness, justification, and transparency. Now, bear in mind, the Emergencies Act was put in place after the blockade at the Ambassador Bridge was dismantled. Here in Windsor, the city and local business leaders went to the Superior Court of Justice and received an injunction. It remains in place today, but it cleared a path to allow police, including officers from across Ontario and the RCMP, to safely remove the protesters and clear the border. Windsor political science professor Lydia Milgen says today's court decision is a reminder to future governments that extraordinary measures don't need to be taken to deal with emergencies.
It should give other governments pause, that this isn't just any old tool that they can just whip out whenever they're finding the public irritating or annoying or inconvenient, that they really do have to meet the threshold that there is in fact a national security risk, that in fact they have exhausted all other legal means.
In Blenheim, firefighters were called early this morning to a multi-unit residence on Talbot Street. Officials say the fire and water has displaced residents, but luckily no one was hurt. The cause of this fire remains under investigation tonight, but the damage estimated at $500,000. Police are reminding drivers tonight about a law that's been in place for more than 20 years. As CTV's Sanjay Mara reports, authorities are seeing an increase in drivers not moving over for emergency vehicles.
On another day of snow blanketing the region, it's not unusual to see emergency or service vehicles flashing their lights along the roadside. And it's a reminder that under Ontario law, drivers are required to slow down and when it's safe to do so, move over, leaving a full lane as a buffer for those working on the shoulder.
It's pretty frustrating. We're constantly looking over our shoulder. Sometimes we turn around and that should be the very moment where that's it. Put the phones down, move over. That way we can all get home to our families.
That nearly didn't happen for an OPP officer who escaped with minor injuries Friday morning after a vehicle rear-ended his cruiser on Highway 401 in Pickering as he was assisting a tow truck with a broken-down car. Police say the collision underscores the potentially deadly risk when drivers fail to move over for stopped emergency vehicles. This after 2 Ontario tow truck operators were killed late last year in separate roadside collisions in the same month. One on the 401 south of Kitchener and another in Wellington County. And just this week, a 42-year-old Windsor man failed to move over when passing an OPP officer at a collision on the 401 in Lakeshore, resulting in multiple charges.
I think it's inattentiveness and unaware of the law. I've written many of these charges and most of them were unaware of it. The driver's responsibility to be aware of the laws, right? Ignorance is not an excuse under the law.
A paralegal we spoke with says he typically sees an average of 10 move-over violations come through his office each year. That's because in many cases, officers are already tied up with another traffic stop and cannot safely pursue additional violations. But when wild weather starts to pick up, so too does the possibility of enforcement.
I'm on the 401 daily. There was a tow truck assisting the vehicle that apparently was involved in the collision. There were 2 or 3 OPP cars there running block for the tow truck because of the road conditions and everything. So they've got cars available to go after them.
When we're on the side of the road, we're inches away from being exposed to a vehicle hitting us.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
In Welland, still no verdict by a jury considering the fate of a Toronto man charged with the murder of a woman from Essex. 20-year-old Juliana Panunzio and her friend 18-year-old Christine Crooks of Toronto were both shot to death on January 19, 2021. 27-year-old Christopher Lucas of Toronto pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder. The jury started deliberations Thursday and they deliberated all day today. Still no verdict. They will resume in the morning. Canada's main stock index crept higher today, helped by gains in the energy sector. The TSX is up 12 points. In New York, the Dow lost 83. The Nasdaq fell 15. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.07 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold lost more than $28 an ounce. Oil gained 26 cents a barrel. Plenty to report tonight from local municipal politics. Windsor City Council is adding its name to a growing list of municipalities upset about consolidation of conservation authorities. Politicians want the province to consult with them on how to move forward to address everything from funding to governance. Ward 9 Councillor Kira McKenzie feels the government has rushed the legislation and in doing so could be creating potential risks for municipalities, residents and flood management.
The idea of going fast just because you find the legislative process as a legislator frustrating isn't a good reason to ram things through.
The province plans to merge Ontario's 36 conservation authorities into 7 regional bodies. Meantime, Mayor Drew Dilkens has asked administration to focus on how to make Twin Oaks Drive on the city's east end more motorist-friendly. He wants a report back by January 26th. Specifically, the mayor would like to see an additional access point for this booming part of the city. To Lakeshore now, where officials there are hoping to recruit some developers to build affordable housing. In exchange, the municipality is offering grants, rebates, or forgivable loans. Whether it's an additional residential unit on an existing property, a duplex, a townhouse, incentives range between $2,500 per unit up to $80,000 per unit. Funding for this is offered through Lakeshore's Community Improvement Plan for projects which can be completed in 2 years. For more information, including how to apply, go to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Also today, the province is cutting checks to both Amherstburg and Windsor. Amherstburg is getting $3.74 million for water infrastructure. It will help replace a century-old sanitary sewer on Richmond Street. The town is hopeful it will protect more homes from flooding and ensure reliable water services. Mayor Michael Proulx says the project strengthens the community and downtown core. The funding comes from the province's Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program.
It's not something you think about every day. Really, you only think about water infrastructure if you flush your toilet and it doesn't work, or if you turn on your tap and there's no water. But this is something that is vital to the operation of municipalities.
Windsor firefighters are getting new bunker gear worth $120,000. That's the insider term for the protective equipment firefighters wear when responding to a call. The equipment is expected to allow them to perform their duties safely and effectively. Money from the Fire Protection Grant is going to all 380 municipal fire services in Ontario. Grey Ridge Egg Farm started in Ridgetown 92 years ago. Today it's celebrating a major achievement, the distinction as having Canada's largest and most advanced grading plant in Canada. CTV's Scott Miller takes us to Listowel.
Millions of Ontario eggs come through Grey Ridge Egg Farm's facility in Listowel every single day. 450,000 dozen per day, to be exact.
Like the eggs that are graded here at this location, literally you can drive down 86 Highway and find farmers that produce eggs that are graded here. And you can go literally to the grocery store in Listowel or Wingham or wherever else and buy a Grey Ridge egg of cartons.
Ray was joined by over 200 Ontario egg producers getting their first look at a $35 million expansion and modernization that makes Grey Ridge's Listowel facility the largest and most advanced egg grading plant in all of Canada.
The new shell inspector on this that looks at the eggs and decides grade A eggs is brand new technology from MOBA, and it's state of the art, and it makes the machine much more operable because there's not as many moving parts, so cleaning and everything and sanitation is much easier.
The 60,000 square foot expansion means a lot less person-to-person handling of the eggs, with robots you'd see on auto assembly lines now moving flats of eggs from one machine to the next. Brookshaw says the expansion means Listowel's Grey Ridge facility can handle nearly 4 million dozen per week, up from 3 million dozen before the modernization.
It should demonstrate to everyone across the province and Canada that there is an ability to host big business in small towns.
For Ontario egg producers, some of them seeing this facility for the first time, they're in absolute awe of the technology being used here to get eggs from their farm to Ontario dinner tables.
When my parents started and my mom picked the eggs in these round cage baskets, and she washed them by hand and graded them with this little scale to where we are today, it's really, amazing.
For Grey Ridge Egg Farms, which was founded in Ridgetown in 1934, this expansion and modernization marks the single biggest investment in their Ontario business, which is music to Mark Van Ness's ears.
It definitely gives us a boost because we know they're investing $35 million into this. They're not going away.
That is the vision, is to be able to grow and make sure that you're always putting back into the facility, ensure the farmers have a good spot to take their eggs, and that you're giving the most quality to our consumers.
In Listowel, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Let's check in one final time on the weather. Here's CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald.
Michelle, I'm counting on cold air to move into next week and really reduce the possibility that my rink in the backyard, no, you're going to do this too, will actually hold. Yes, we'll get some freezing temperatures below the freezing mark sustained, and that's what you need if you enjoy pond hockey or putting a rink, setting it up, getting it ready to flood in your backyard over the next little while. You'll have that opportunity Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at the overnights into the minus double digits and then some. So there's your silver lining. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. Make use of that cold air. Flurries on the way tonight into tomorrow. We'll see a sunny afternoon, though. It'll be windy. And then next week, it's just cold, especially in the morning and late at night. And more snow to come, too. We'll be shoveling it, but I'll be getting the skates sharpened. Enjoy your weekend weather and beyond. Good night.
The Windsor Spitfires on the road tonight with a rare Friday night game in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Christopher gets it back. Little move to the front and hurl it in. Oh, it went in.
Windsor will take a commanding lead of this game, going up 3-1 against the Erie Otters. Anthony Cristofaro netted 2 goals himself, with another from Ethan Belchez on the power play. Erie would try to power back late in the game with a goal, a shorty to boot by Caden Edwards, and they would even pull their goalie to try to send it to overtime. It was also a nasty affair with lots of fighting. The final in the end, however, Spits 3, Erie 2. Well, if you go to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, you'll notice a special sign, 165. That's how many affordable housing units our local Habitat has built, restored, and financed. The plan is to update the number on the wall at the cache each and every year. Habitat's director says this milestone is only possible because of their team of 300 volunteers.
Half of these guys could go work somewhere else, and they do this because they got the heart for it. And you got to have the heart for it. There's no doubt in my mind. You know, the work that these guys are doing, and they're out there sweating and working every day, out freezing cold right now. In the summertime, they're out doing it in the heat, and nobody, complains about it.
That's all the time we have for now. On behalf of the entire CTV News Windsor team on both sides of your camera, thank you so much for watching and supporting local news. For updates throughout the weekend, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca. We all hope you have a restful weekend. See you back here next week, and good night.